If there is one practical thing that Democrats can do right now that would help them regain power, it's never speak to Trump in person. No, I'm kidding. That's No, it's this. Inspire your moderates to vote in the primaries. Get that base excited. You have the numbers. After Congressman Moulton made his comment about his daughter not getting run over, he added, "But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that." Well, then change what you're supposed to.
The DNC is in chaos, and Bill Maher isn't holding back. You might expect sympathy for a party lacking clear leadership or direction, but instead, he's going all in. On Real Time with Bill Maher, he slammed AOC and the Democrats for ignoring the lessons of their last crushing defeat, and he didn't hold anything back. Let's dive in.
People ask me all the time, why haven't you ever had Hillary or Bill Clinton on? Why didn't you have Kamala on during the last campaign? You think we don't ask? We ask these people every week. They say no. It took 8 years and a petition to get Obama on. And these are people, all people I voted for. Think about that. They're afraid to come on the show of a guy who voted for them.
Maher kicked off by venting his frustration at the party he's long supported, through his vote, his money, and his influence, only to be consistently sidelined. Despite being one of their most visible cultural allies, Democrats have repeatedly avoided his platform. He's extended invitation after invitation for them to appear on Real Time with Bill Maher, yet they always decline. Why? Because they fear tough questions and can't defend their shaky positions under real scrutiny. Instead of engaging in honest debate, they retreat into an echo chamber, proving Maher's point. The left has grown weak, insecure, and intellectually complacent. But what about Republicans? Are they any different?
Republicans? They show up. And when they do, they take their beating like a man. You went down to Mar-a-Lago and just after that. When the Mueller report came out, I feel like you mischaracterized it. I feel that was shady. But you campaigned for election deniers in 2022. This I do not forgive. The Republicans, including you, January 6th, etc., are the ones who are no longer willing to play by the rules of democracy. Amendment 22, no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. And yet you keep talking about Trump's, maybe you should have this.
Of course, Republicans have had their share of hits and misses, some sharp, others awkward, and likely aimed right at Maher. But that's not the main point. The real lesson is this. Win or lose, Republicans show up. They sit across from Maher, take the criticism, and stay in the debate, even when their arguments falter. That willingness to face scrutiny, risk missteps, and step into the spotlight shows a level of toughness and accountability. Unlike Democrats, they don't retreat to comfort zones. They confront the challenge head-on, and that speaks volumes.
To have AOC on the show, and Mondami and Elizabeth Warren, but I can't subpoena the guests. And I can't fix that what the Democrats are scared of more than anything else, I mean, obviously besides gluten, is being primaried from the far left, even though most Democrats are not far left. They're mild-mannered and moderate, at least in my bathhouse.
It's no secret the far left is driving the woke agenda. What's alarming is how much louder and more dominant they've become than the Democratic Party itself. Instead of standing on principle, the party bends to every demand, no matter how extreme. The DNC seems to have abandoned its backbone, choosing appeasement over real leadership. The result is a hollow institution more focused on appeasing the loudest activists than representing everyday Americans. What the party truly needs isn't another figurehead kowtowing to the mob. It needs a leader with the courage and conviction to finally push back against the far left's grip.
Even though most Democrats are not far left, they're mild-mannered and moderate, at least in my bathhouse. If there is one practical thing that Democrats can do right now that would help them regain power, it's never speak to Trump in person. No, I'm kidding. That's After Congressman Moulton made his comment about his daughter not getting run over, he added, "But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that." Well, then change what you're supposed to do.
What Maher highlights couldn't be more accurate. In recent years, many moderates within the Democratic Party have quietly drifted toward the center, or even right. feeling increasingly alienated by a party dominated by the far-left agenda. These are former loyal Democrats who might return if the DNC had the courage to break, even partially, from the grip of the woke fringe. Instead, the party tiptoes around the far left, walking on eggshells for fear of backlash and censorship. Until the DNC severs itself from this extremism, moderates will stay on the sidelines, leaving the party trapped in a cycle of appeasement and fear-driven politics.
I think that he would have power and influence to be able to, usher in socialism?
He definitely has the power and influence to elect J.D. Vance or whoever is the Republican candidate next time. It is a walking commercial for the Republican Party.
I think the Republicans are going to...
When you let the Democrats, socialists, and now they're actually calling themselves socialists, when you let them take over a major American city, this is what you get.
Let's be clear, Maher's warning is stark. If the Democratic Party were to nominate Zoran Mani as their 2028 frontrunner, they'd be handing the election to J.D. Vance on a silver platter. Maher points out that while Mani's woke, socialist-leaning policies might appeal to Gen Z, they won't win over the broader electorate. Millennials, Gen X, and especially baby boomers still dominate the voter base, and Mani's rhetoric could actually drive them away. The bottom line, betting the party's future on a far-left figure like Mani is political self-destruction, practically guaranteeing a Republican victory.
You're engaging with a psycho who all they care about is controlling you. They're very good at diagnosing problems. Yeah. They're very good at figuring out what your weak points are. And that's, I would argue, what a lot of these people are doing. Right. They recognize that if you can focus on these problems, then you can, use that dissatisfaction to get...
To me, Mani isn't offering real leadership. He's exploiting frustration. He takes genuine flaws in the system, not to fix them, but to weaponize them, fueling anger and resentment. Instead of presenting thoughtful, workable solutions, his rhetoric deepens the very problems he claims to oppose. It's a familiar playbook: assign blame, stir emotions, and never deliver results. Socialism, no matter how well packaged, has never generated lasting prosperity, but many young voters, unfamiliar with its history, are drawn in by Mani's promises. They hear ideals dressed as progress, yet ignore the real consequences: economic stagnation, loss of freedoms, and greater societal division. Mani isn't leading a movement toward solutions. He's selling a dangerous fantasy, cheered on by a generation too quick to applaud without asking hard questions.
Horrible for a guy like you, who you spent your whole life talking about how government tries to do too much, which it does, and spends too much. Here you have Trump, who is the Republican, who is aggrandizing more power than anybody, as we just talked about. And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mandami, right? Yeah. Okay, who's like a straight-up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
You want him to win?
Yeah. I think every 20 years or so...
Wait.
Every 20 years or so, we need a conspicuous, confined experiment with socialism.
For those of us who've studied history, the consequences of socialism are clear, and we're not eager to repeat them. So no, we're not rooting for Mani's victory. Quite the opposite. We hope more Democrats wake up before it's too late and recognize the damage his leadership could inflict. The warning signs are already visible. Policies that sound appealing in theory but fail in practice, promises that stir emotion yet undermine a strong economy and a free society. What's needed is clarity, so voters can see past slogans and polished rhetoric to the long-term harm hidden in Mani's platform. If Democrats truly care about their party's survival, they'll stop him at the ballot box before he drags it into ruin.